what it do, what it do, what it do. So we back at the house now. And of course, I got my Stingray from the end. This is my very first keeper. As far as keeping one, I met somebody down there and they was telling me how good they taste. And we were talking about it, man. And then sure enough, this is what I call off men hate down at the end. I mean, it was a struggle, it was a fight. Got him in though. And he told me what to do. Then I checked out a video myself. So what I'm gonna do is come in, cut them here. But I feel like this is all meat right here. So that makes sense. I'm gonna go here, down, and then wherever I feel, and then come back around. And then this is gonna probably be left on the outside, which is probably the cartilage, but this should be the meat. So let's see what we got. This is very, very thick. Yeah, I can see the cartilage as I'm cutting. I'm just filling them out. Wherever I feel hardness at, I go above it, stay into the meat. And probably all I need to do now is just go follow, stretch it up. Yeah, there we go. That is all meat right there. So now, let me see. All right. All right. See what I'm looking at here. All right. That's not bad looking right there. That is all meat right there. So it's a Stingray. And I'm just my first time ever trying it. So hopefully it pans out. Because me and Buddy had a good fight going on. He almost won. Alright, so let's go to the second part of my man. Finish them up. Two nice thick pieces. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Al of Fishing with Big Al, and welcome to my home. Welcome to my kitchen. In this video that I am putting together right now that I'm going to show, it is me doing a stingray. I've already cleaned it. It was caught yesterday. So today is going to be the first time that I've ever done this. It's actually a stingray that I caught yesterday. And we were sitting out there talking on the water, and we were bringing up fish, and stingray came up in the conversation. And he was telling me how good stingray was, what it's made from, which I heard it was scallops. So if that's true, I did look it up, and sometimes some areas show that is what it is. Some areas just say, hey, you just fry the wings and put it on the grill, however you want to cook it. But me, I'm a fry man. I love frying my fish. Anything that I really catch, I always fry it. Every now and then I put it on grill. So we talking shark, that's grill. If I get mahi, I put that in the oven, something like that, when I get a hold of it. But this one right here is going to be stingray, and I looked it up, and it was saying it tastes great as being fried. So I found a recipe, and it was kind of simple. It wasn't nothing to it. It was just an old boy talking about how he cooked it. He made it simple. There was nothing about you need this and you need that and do all this and do all that. It was just basic. So I said, that's good. That's right up my alley. I like that. That's simple stuff I like to do anyway when it comes to cooking my food. I'm not all into the measurements and all that. I just like it for the way I know it's going to taste, what flavor it's going to bring out. If I do here, I think the flavor's coming out. So that's what we're going to do. But anyway, this right here is simple, man. It's just using some hot sauce. Using some fish coating, which I use Louisiana flavor. He did flour. I'm going to use my Louisiana seasoning. It's already seasoned, so I'm not going to add anything else to it. That's why I can get away with that. But yeah, and then some oil and a nice pan. So with that said, let's move on and let's get it going. I'm going to go ahead and get this prep, and then I'm going to put the hot sauce on it. I might let it sit for like 30 minutes just to let the hot sauce get up in there. I already rinsed it off, and then come back and then cook it. And oh yeah, what I'm gonna be doing is another thing. Now I'm actually from St. Louis, right? I'm down in Texas, I'm in Corpus Christi, Texas. But one of the things that I bring with me, man, I've been down here since 2007 by way of military. And one of the things that is a Midwest thing, a lot of people, especially in my family at least, I know this for a fact because my family does this. Almost everybody on my father's side of the family, this is what they do. My mother, she does it. So I'm going to say both sides of the family because my mother was the one doing all the cooking. So basically this is fish and spaghetti. So it's not the fish, it's not going in the spaghetti. Anybody who is not aware of it, a lot of people may be, but on the same token, yeah, that's a Midwest thing, at least from what I know, because everywhere else I go that I've been in the military, I've never been to anybody's house that had fish and spaghetti. It was always fish and fries, or was always fish and something else that they cooked with it, but it was never fish and spaghetti. So in my home, that's what it was. I turned on a couple of people to it. They liked it, and they've been on it ever since, fish and spaghetti. So that is what is gonna be the menu today. So anyway, let's get it started, man. Let's do this. All right, so like I was saying earlier, right? You're just gonna have first ingredient, the main ingredient is gonna be the stingray. This is a big piece right here, man. Looking at it, it almost looks like a pink piece of tripe, right? It's got a bunch of, it almost looks like ground beef in a way. You know how you get ground beef and you got the lines in it? That's my first time ever seeing a stingray after you filleted it. So I did a good job from the video I watched yesterday. The other thing I'm gonna be doing is right here. Got my little thin Barilla spaghetti. Got my Frank's Red Hot Original hot sauce. And then I got my garlic Prego, which is gonna be roasted garlic and herb. So that's gonna be just my spaghetti meal right there to go along with it. So me, myself, first off, what I'm gonna do is, and this cuts real easy. I didn't realize how easy this really cuts. So I'm gonna cut it and get some of this off of here right quick. And I'm just gonna cut chunks out of it, right? That's it. Look at that, it cuts pretty easy. Look at that meat. The meat is pink, man. You see that? How pink that is? So it looks really good. Cross right here. Let's do some chunks in there. And like I say, man, I probably won't even eat all this. I know I'm not gonna eat all of it. This will be what I do is, I overcook. That's just me. I overcook in so many ways. I overcook. And when I'm cooking, right, I always do this, and I wind up having stuff for lunch tomorrow, but that's okay because I know I'm gonna eat it. I rarely ever have food left over the next day and I don't eat it. Unless it's something that, that you cooked and then you really didn't care for it and you put it in the refrigerator after it's all said and done and then you save it for the trash. And I do that, so. I would do that in a heartbeat too, and I realized something didn't come out the way I wanted, so. But for the most part, yeah, we do that. So we got that done. All right, so these are all good pieces right here. As you can see, those are all my good chunks. And I'm not gonna put any seasoning on it because like I said, I already got the Louisiana. Matter of fact, let me make sure I got some left that I didn't run out. Yep, so it looks like we got that Louisiana up in the house. The Louisiana fish fry seafood breaded mix. That's what I'm gonna use for this. So next step, man, it's real simple. I'm just gonna pop this bottle of Frank's open. Get it ready. Now me, myself, I like stuff to soak into something, so I treat it like a marinade no matter what I'm doing, so. And I get off with this because Mama is getting something else to eat. She tried to talk me into doing it. She wanted some Babbbyy's, so I was like, nah, I got this fish already in here, and this is what I'm gonna eat. And that is what I like to do. So as you can see, I put that in there. I'm not gonna do anything else with it. I'm not gonna put any more seasoning to it because the Louisiana already comes seasoned. So, and it's got like a lemon pepper taste, a lemon taste to it too as well. Then all I'm gonna do is take my fork, and that's pretty much it. Let it soak in there for a little bit. And while we're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and get this spaghetti ready to go. Now the spaghetti, everybody know how to cook spaghetti. At least I think anyway. That's like real easy to cook. That's a no-brainer. So I'm not gonna go into that. The main thing is about this fish. About this stingray that we're getting prepped. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna let it sit for like 30 and then come back to it. All right, so we are back in the building. I let my fish marinate itself for 30 minutes like I said I was gonna do. So this is what it came out like. You can see that right there, getting it down, getting it down, getting it down. So now I'm not gonna worry about rinsing anything off or putting it in paper towel and drying it because that would take away from what I'm trying to do. The flavor is coming from the hot sauce with the Stingray, so I'm gonna leave everything like it is. What I am gonna do though is just make sure I don't get it overloaded with too much that it takes up the flour and then makes it like a glue. You know that gummy look that it gets when you take too much, when flour gets all wet and everything else, like a paste. And we don't want that. So I'm gonna shake off as much excess as we can. Put these bad boys up in here. Get them ready to go. And I already got the grease on right now, so I got oil. I cook everything in my canola. Whenever I'm using oil, I don't really use vegetable oil. I always use canola. To me, it just seems like it gives better flavor to my food when I'm cooking it. So we're just gonna put these in here, and so far so good. I'm impressed. And like I said, this is the first time I ever had Stingray. I've never had it. I've never had nobody let me taste it to see what it tastes like. None of that. I used to catch them, and then when I catch my Stingray, I would just put them back in the water. But like I said, man, it had to be like something that came out of the conversation between me and the guy. BD is his name, so shout out to BD. He was the one that turned me on to it. And sure enough, what happened was, and I got footage of it too, we were talking, and I was messing around trying to still catch trout. And I had a big rod set up. And when I set the big rod up, I put it down, of course, and I had some menhaden on the end of it. It's what I was putting on. I had a Carolina rig menhaden, and I tossed it out long ways out into the water. And I was trying to go for drum. I was hoping a red drum was going to come and grab it. And that was not the case. We were talking. And all of a sudden, BD said, hey man, I hear something. We turned around, my rod was bent over, and if it wasn't for the reel holder that was strong enough to hold it, man, that rod would have went flying off the end of that wall. I mean, he had it, and he was zinging line off of it. So it took me almost like 30 minutes or so to get him in, of course. And I mean, he got stuck one time, and I thought he got hung up on something, so I was just gonna, you know, let it go at first. I was just gonna cut the line because I thought that was it. And I said, man, let me give it one more big heave. And when I did that, I got my strength back up because I mean, he was wearing me out, and that's when I was ready to let him go because I was like, man, he's wearing my arms out. And so I went on ahead and gave it one big heave. You know how you do when your line is snagged up, and then you just pull it straight. When I pulled it straight, he came up out the hole, wherever he was trying to lock himself into, and the fight was on again. And so he zinged off some line. I had a couple of guys down there. Shout out to my boys from San Antonio. If you see this video, they were the ones helping me out. I didn't get their names or nothing like that. And they were the ones that helped me out with this. So now, there we go. It's all breaded, ready to go. I'm satisfied with that. All of this Stingray is coated with that Louisiana. So we're good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get it put in this oil. All right, I got the oil set. Don't know what the temperature is, but I had it on 9, so what I'm gonna do is bring it down now to about a 7 on my stove, and that should be good. Now I'm thinking, all right, so we got the little sizzle. Everybody know that test you give. You put a little bit of that flour into it to make sure it's gonna make that little sizzle noise that it's gonna make to say it's ready to go. If it does that, go ahead and put your pieces in there. And the more I put in, the more oil should rise. So they get some pretty good pieces up in there. So I don't know. I heard it was like scallops. So if it is, great. I've never had scallop before because I don't eat that stuff. I really don't. If I go to a seafood restaurant or whatever and they say scallops and all that stuff is on the menu, I abort. I don't mess around with none of that. So I like my shrimp. I like to eat fish fillets, things like that. But I'm not a crab eater, so I don't eat crab. I eat snow crab, but I would not go out my way to eat crab because I fish with it, so I know what it looks like. So you're not gonna get me to touch it. It just is what it is. I don't eat anything that I fish with like that because I'm not gonna try to talk nobody out of not want to eat crab no more, but just seeing it in person and seeing how it looks when you take that back off of them and you see all that membrane and everything like that. They cook them crabs whole and that's what you're eating. People love it. So I'm sure I'm gonna get some flack from somebody online and say, man, you don't know what you're missing. Yeah, I do. I ain't missing nothing. That's what I'm missing. Not a thing. So anyway, we got them cooking. So let's go ahead and let them do that, and then we'll get back. I don't want to take up too much time and have you saying, man, get to the good stuff. So we'll be back. So as you can see right now, they've been cooking for a minute. And they're getting that golden brown look to it, just like fish always does, man. So I'm impressed. I really like it. It looks like it's not looking like it's coarse or anything. Like I said, I never had Stingray before. This is my first time ever eating it. So it looks good. Hopefully it's coming out the way it should. And hopefully gonna be impressed with it. So, all right, so that first batch is done. I got 2 more pieces cooking. And looking at this, it almost looked like you're looking at some chicken thighs, is what it looked like. If it wasn't for the separation of the ones on the left and in the back, the ones in the front look like thighs to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this right quick and see what it tastes like. I already let my wife taste it. I didn't want to put it on video, but I let her taste it and she said it tastes kind of strong. Had like too much of a fishy taste to it. Well, I don't know. I mean, to each his own, what everybody feel like when you eat something. Like I said, I don't eat a lot of things too. A lot of people love it. So, but this right here, I'm gonna test it right quick, taste it, and see what it tastes like. Let's see. As a matter of fact, it's kind of stringy, it breaks right off. So it breaks off already in the pieces like it is. Man, we got something here. All this time I've been throwing stingrays back, they may be in trouble. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna keep them all the time, but yeah, we got something going on right here. I like this. This is very nice, very tasty, very good. It's it just tastes like, I know I'm eating fish, but I can't tell that I'm eating a different type of fish. So basically it tastes good, man. So I'm gonna give a thumbs up to Stingray. Stingray is off the chain. I like it, love it. Thanks to my man BD who turned me on to this. Thanks to the guy whose video I watched on how to clean it, because he had a video, and to me, once I cleaned it, it was like doing, it was like cleaning flounder. It was real simple. I had no idea how simple it was to clean Stingray until I did it. I just followed the video lecture, and I fell in love with, so now cleaning them is no big deal. So anyway, man, I like it, I love it. So welcome to thank you for visiting. I hope everybody's doing great with them lives. I hope everything's going good. This is your boy, I'm out. And like I say, man, fish on, baby. Enjoy. Peace.